The smell of fear has a particular quality at 11:47 at night, 60 floors above Manhattan. It mingles with the scent of expensive cologne and aged whiskey, creating something Sarah Mitchell would remember for the rest of her life. The kind of memory that divides time into before and after. If you are watching this story unfold, do something for me right now. Press that like button. Hit subscribe, because in the next 90 minutes, you are going to witness how a single dinner check for $847 destroyed a billion-dollar empire and saved thousands of lives. But right now, in this moment, frozen in time, Sarah knows only one thing with absolute certainty. Her father died for the truth she is about to speak. Her hand trembles as she grips the pocket watch. The engraving catches the light from the floor to ceiling windows. Do no harm, followed by her father's name. Dr. Robert Mitchell, the year 1985 etched beneath it. Her knuckles have gone white from the pressure. The metal grows warm against her palm. The office door opens without a sound. Expensive hinges never announce themselves. The man who enters fills the doorway despite the 12-foot height of the frame. Marcus Cole stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, but the space around him seems to compress. To acknowledge his presence the way gravity acknowledges mass, his white dress shirt has the sleeves rolled to his elbows. No tie, no jacket. The Patek Philippe on his wrist catches the ambient light from the city below, scattering tiny diamonds of reflection across the glass walls. His eyes are the color of steel. Not metaphorically, actually steel. The kind of blue-gray that machinists see in freshly cut metal before oxidation dulls the surface. Those eyes find hers and hold. "Miss Mitchell," he says. His voice is lower than she expected. Quieter. The kind of quiet that makes you lean in to hear, that commands attention through subtraction rather than addition. "We need to talk about what you just found in my father's files." The screen cuts to black. White letters appear against the darkness. Clean, stark, unforgiving. The sterling reckoning. Beneath it, smaller. Some debts can only be paid in truth. Then, 72 hours earlier, the numbers fade. The story begins. Thursday evening in New York City carries a particular energy. The week is dying, but not yet dead. People move through the streets with purpose tinged with anticipation. The weekend is close enough to taste, but far enough away to still require effort. Sarah Mitchell has been awake for 19 hours. Her uniform still smells like the restaurant. High-end Italian food has a distinctive aroma. Truffle oil and aged Parmesan, reduced wine sauces, and fresh basil. It clings to fabric despite industrial washing. She has stopped noticing it on herself, but she knows other people can smell it. The other passengers on the subway. The security guard at the hospital entrance. They smell money on her. The irony would be funny if she had energy left for humor. The hospital corridor stretches ahead of her like something from a dream. Too long, too bright, the fluorescent lights hum at a frequency that makes her teeth ache. Her feet hurt. Her back hurts. Everything hurts in that dull, persistent way that comes from standing for 14 hours while smiling at people who do not see you as fully human. But none of that matters when she sees the name on the consultation room door. Dr. James Chen. Oncology. Her heart does something complicated in her chest. A skip. A stutter. A moment of suspended animation where it seems to forget its basic function before lurching back into rhythm. The door opens before she can knock. Dr. Chen is 45 years old. His hair has started going gray at the temples. He wears it well, distinguished rather than old. His eyes hold the particular kindness of someone who has delivered terrible news so many times that he has learned to make it bearable. "Miss Mitchell," he says. Not a greeting, an acknowledgement. "Thank you for coming so quickly." The consultation room is small, institutional. A desk, 2 chairs, anatomical posters on the walls showing lymphatic systems and cellular structures. A box of tissues positioned at the exact midpoint of the desk. Sarah has been in enough of these rooms to know what the tissue placement means. Nothing good ever requires tissues positioned for easy access. Dr. Chen does not sit. Neither does she. They stand on opposite sides of the desk like negotiators at a peace talk, knowing that war is inevitable, but going through the motions anyway. "The latest scans show progression," he says. No preamble, No softening. She appreciates that. The leukemia is advancing faster than we anticipated. Lily needs to begin aggressive treatment within 3 weeks. The protocol I am recommending costs approximately $340,000. Her insurance will cover 40%. The mathematics happen automatically. Years of medical school training, even incomplete medical school training, leave permanent marks. Her brain calculates while her heart tries to process. $204,000 out of pocket. She has $8,000 in savings. The room tilts slightly. The walls seem to breathe. But then something clicks into place. The old training, the muscle memory from Johns Hopkins before everything fell apart. She straightens. Her mind sharpens. 3 weeks, she says. Her voice sounds steadier than she feels. 21 days. If I can get the money by then, what are her survival odds? Dr. Chen's expression shifts. Recognition. Respect. He remembers now. She was not always a waitress. With timely treatment, 78%. But Sarah, he pauses. The pause cost him something. You know as well as I do that in oncology, timing is everything. The memory comes unbidden, sharp, clear, painful in its specificity. Her father in his white coat, the same white coat she used to wear, standing in a teaching hospital, surrounded by students, explaining that medicine is both art and science. That compassion matters as much as competence. That every patient deserves their best effort, regardless of ability to pay. His voice in her memory, medicine is a privilege, not a right, but every child deserves a chance. The memory dissolves. She is back in the consultation room. Dr. Chen is watching her with concern that she does not want or need. I need to see her, Sarah says. The pediatric ward exists in a different universe than the consultation rooms. Where those spaces are sterile and white and honest about their purpose, the pediatric ward tries to lie. Bright colors on the walls, murals of cartoon characters, toys in bins, music playing softly from hidden speakers, all of it designed to make children forget they are in a place where children sometimes die. Lily sits in her bed, surrounded by colored pencils and paper. She is 8 years old. Her head is smooth from chemotherapy. No hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. But her eyes are bright, alert, engaged with the world in the way only children can manage, finding wonder in the midst of horror. She is drawing a picture. Sarah approaches slowly, carefully, the way you approach something precious and fragile that might shatter if you move too quickly. Hey, baby, she says softly. Lily looks up. Her smile could power cities, could light the dark spaces where hope goes to die, could make you believe that everything might actually be okay. Sarah, look what I drew. She holds up the paper. 3 figures rendered in crayon. A woman, a small girl, and a third figure sketched more lightly, as if the artist was uncertain about committing it to permanence. A man in a white coat with a stethoscope around his neck. That's us, Lily explains, pointing. You, me, and Daddy. Dr. Chen says Daddy is in heaven watching over us. The pain in Sarah's chest is physical, actual, real in a way that defies description. 7 years. 7 years since her father died. 7 years since the night his car went off that bridge. 7 years of believing he had made a mistake, that the guilt had driven him to suicide, that somehow the tragedy was preventable if only someone had seen the signs. 7 years of being wrong about everything. She kneels beside the bed, pulls Lily into a hug, breathes in the hospital smell mixed with the strawberry shampoo they use on the children, holds on perhaps a moment too long. It's beautiful, baby. Daddy would love it. I'm going to give it to him when I see him, Lily says. Then with the straightforward logic of 8-year-olds, but Dr. Chen says I need medicine first. Good medicine, so I can get better and draw more pictures. Sarah's throat closes. She cannot speak, cannot breathe, cannot think. I promise, she manages finally. I promise I will find a way. The promise hangs in the air between them, heavy, binding, the kind of promise that changes the trajectory of lives. She does not know yet that the way to keep this promise is already waiting for her, that it will come in the form of a man she has never met, a man who is, at this exact moment, standing in his office 60 blocks north, staring at a city he owns but cannot feel, wondering if there is any point to any of it. The contrast between Sarah's world and Marcus Cole's world is not subtle. It is a chasm, a gulf, an unbridgeable distance that makes mockery of phrases like, "We are all equal." Her studio apartment in Brooklyn costs $1,800 per month and measures 400 square feet. The refrigerator contains leftover Chinese food 3 days past safe consumption, expired milk, a half-empty jar of peanut butter. Bills cover the kitchen counter in sedimentary layers. Student loans, hospital bills, rent, utilities. Each one a small stone added to a mountain of debt that will never stop growing. She changes into her work uniform. Black slacks, white shirt, the Pinnacle logo embroidered on the left breast. The fabric is high quality. The restaurant insists on it. Appearances matter when you serve people who consider $800 a reasonable price for dinner. Meanwhile, across the city, in a penthouse that costs more than most people earn in a decade, Marcus Cole prepares for the same evening. His closet is larger than Sarah's entire apartment. 30 Tom Ford suits hang in perfect alignment. 20 pairs of John Lobb shoes rest on individual pedestals. The organization is not compulsive, it is simply efficient. When you are worth $4.3 billion, you do not waste time deciding what to wear. His butler, a man named James, who has worked for the Cole family for 30 years, prepares the evening's selection. A Brioni tuxedo in midnight blue, $8,000 of Italian craftsmanship, a Turnbull and Asser shirt, French cuffs, sapphire cufflinks that once belonged to his father. The watch goes on last, always last. The Patek Philippe Sky Moon Tourbillon, $1.2 million. But the price is irrelevant. This watch was his father's, the last gift before the cancer took him, before Marcus learned what death looks like up close, before he understood that all the money in the world cannot buy back a single second of lost time. He checks the watch now, an unconscious gesture. His fingers touch the cool metal of the case. He breathes, continues dressing. The penthouse has floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Central Park. 4,500 square feet of space designed by architects whose names appear in museums. Art on the walls worth more than small countries' GDP. Furniture that requires appointments to purchase. It is beautiful, empty, silent. His phone rings. The screen displays a single word. Mom. His finger hovers over the accept button, then moves to decline. This is the fourth time this week he has avoided her call. The fourth time he has chosen silence over connection. The fourth time he has proven that success and happiness are not synonyms. The intercom buzzes. "Mr. Cole," his assistant's voice filters through the speaker. Professional, efficient, carefully neutral. "Your 8 o'clock reservation at the Pinnacle is confirmed. Mr. Sterling will meet you there." Marcus's jaw tightens at the name. Victor Sterling, his father's old business partner, his mentor. The man who taught him everything about building an empire and nothing about being human. "Cancel Sterling," Marcus says. "I will go alone." The decision is impulse, instinct. The kind of choice that seems meaningless in the moment, but later reveals itself as the hinge on which entire lives turn. He does not know that going alone tonight will be the best decision of his life. He does not know that the woman who will change everything is already at the restaurant, tying her apron, checking her reflection in the polished surface of a serving tray, preparing for another night of invisible labor. The universe moves in strange ways. Chaos theory suggests that a butterfly's wings in Brazil can cause a tornado in Texas. Tonight, in New York City, a canceled dinner companion will cause an earthquake that brings down empires. But that comes later. For now, Marcus Cole stands at his window and looks down at the city he conquered. 10 million people below him. 10 million lives being lived. 10 million stories unfolding. And not one of them cares whether he lives or dies. The thought should depress him. Instead, it creates a hollow space in his chest. An absence. A void where something else should be, but is not. He thinks of his father's last words. The hospital room, the machines, the smell of approaching death mixed with antiseptic. Build something that matters, son, not just something that makes money. 23 years ago, He was 19. His father was 46. Cancer does not care about your plans. Marcus built an empire. Sterling Industries, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, research, development. The company now employs 40,000 people, generates 17 billion in annual revenue, saves lives, extends lives, makes the unbearable bearable. But does it matter? He does not know, cannot know. The question has no answer because the man who could answer it is 23 years dead. Marcus turns from the window, picks up his briefcase. Tom Ford leather, $3,000, contains nothing essential, just the appearance of purpose. He leaves the penthouse, takes the private elevator to the garage, slides into his car, Mercedes S-Class, $200,000 of German engineering, drives through the city toward a restaurant he has been to 100 times, toward a woman he has never met, toward the moment that will split his life into before and after. The Pinnacle occupies the 60th floor of a building in Midtown Manhattan. Getting there requires passing through 3 separate security checkpoints, providing identification, being verified against the reservation list, having your coat checked by a professional who has perfected the art of making you feel both welcomed and evaluated. The elevator is glass. It rises on the outside of the building, providing views of the city as you ascend. The effect is deliberately dramatic. By the time you reach the 60th floor, you have been reminded of your elevation, your removal from the ordinary world, your entry into a space where normal rules do not apply. The restaurant itself is a study in controlled opulence. 20-foot ceilings, crystal chandeliers worth $500,000 each, floor-to-ceiling windows on 3 sides providing panoramic views of Manhattan, tables spaced 10 feet apart to ensure conversations remain private, acoustic panels hidden in the ceiling to dampen sound without deadening it. Classical piano music drifts through the space. A Steinway Model D in the corner, played by a man who studied at Juilliard and chose this over concert halls because the pay is better and the hours more reasonable. The dress code is enforced absolutely. Black tie required, no exceptions. The maitre d', a Frenchman named Gerard, who has spent 30 years perfecting the art of polite intimidation, has turned away senators and celebrities for showing up in the wrong attire. Sarah has worked here for 2 years. She knows every table, every regular, every quirk of the kitchen, and every preference of the clientele. She moves through the space with practiced efficiency, invisible in the way service staff are trained to be invisible. Present when needed, absent otherwise. Gerard approaches her at the service station. His expression is serious, more serious than usual, which is saying something. Sarah, table 7, VIP, Marcus Cole from Sterling Industries. He is, Gerard pauses, searching for the right word. Particular, no mistakes tonight. Table 7 is the best table in the restaurant. Corner window, 270-degree view. Reserved exclusively for people whose net worth has at least 9 zeros. Sarah glances across the dining room. The table sits empty, waiting. The white tablecloth is perfect. The silverware aligned with geometric precision. The crystal water glass is positioned exactly 3 inches from the table's edge. Something about that empty table makes her uneasy. A premonition, a sense of standing at the edge of something vast and unknown. She collects menus, checks her reflection in the polished surface of a serving tray. Hair neat, makeup minimal but professional, uniform pressed. Everything in its proper place. The restaurant door opens. Time does something strange. It does not slow down exactly. That would be inaccurate. Instead, it becomes more detailed, more granular. The moment expands to contain more information than moments usually hold. Marcus Cole enters. He is tall, 6 feet 3 inches, the kind of height that makes doorways seem slightly too small. His tuxedo is midnight blue brony, tailored so perfectly it moves with him like a second skin. $8,000 of fabric and craftsmanship. His shirt is white Turnbull and Acer. French cuffs, sapphire cufflinks catching the light. His shoes are John Lobb Oxfords, mirror polished, $2,500. His watch is visible even from across the room. Patek Philippe, the way light catches it suggests complications, expensive complications. But it is his face that stops conversations mid-sentence. Not because he is handsome, though he is. Not because he is young, though 42 is young for the kind of wealth he represents. Because of his eyes. Steel blue, the color of winter skies and surgical instruments. The kind of eyes that assess everything in half a second and reveal nothing in return. His hair is salt and pepper. Distinguished. The gray concentrated at the temples. His posture is military straight. He moves through the restaurant with the unconscious confidence of someone who has never been told no. The other diners notice. Conversations pause. Heads turn, then turn away because staring is impolite. And politeness matters when everyone in the room is pretending they are not constantly measuring their worth against everyone else's. Marcus does not notice the attention, or he notices and does not care. The distinction is academic. Gerard leads him to table 7. Marcus walks with purpose, each step calculated, efficient. His hourly consulting rate is $10,000. He does not waste movement. Sarah watches from the service station. Her heart rate increases, not from attraction, though he is objectively attractive, from recognition of power. This man could change her life with a phone call. Hire her, fire her, destroy her. People at this level of wealth and influence do not see service staff as fully human. They are hands that bring food. Voices that take orders, functionaries, invisible. She picks up the menus, straightens her collar, breathes, approaches table 7. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Pinnacle. My name is Sarah. I will be taking care of you tonight. May I start you with... Marcus is looking at the menu, does not look up. Macallan 25. Neat. And I need to see your sommelier. The wine list here is... He looks up mid-sentence. Their eyes meet. The moment extends. 3 seconds, perhaps 4. In those seconds, something happens that neither of them fully understands. Marcus sees someone who is looking back at him, really looking, not intimidated, not impressed, not performing the careful dance of deference that usually accompanies interactions with people of his wealth. Just seeing him, a man, human, mortal. Sarah sees someone who is actually present, not absent in the way most wealthy diners are absent, treating her as animate furniture. His attention is complete, total, focused. The silence between them carries weight. The wine list is what, sir? Sarah asks. Her voice is steady. She does not blink first. Marcus's expression shifts, a micro-expression. The corner of his mouth moves perhaps a millimeter upward. Not quite a smile, something more subtle, recognition of something unexpected. Adequate, he says. The Macallan, please. Sarah nods, turns to leave. Wait, she stops, turns back. Marcus is looking at her name tag, then at her face. Sarah, you have very steady hands. Most servers' hands shake around me. The comment hangs in the air. It could be innocent observation, could be something else. The ambiguity is deliberate. Sarah meets his gaze directly. 14-hour shift, sir. The shaking comes after I go home. Marcus's expression shifts again. This time the smile reaches his eyes. Real amusement. Genuine. The kind of expression that transforms a face, revealing the person underneath the carefully constructed exterior. I see, he says. The Macallan, then. Thank you, Sarah. She walks away. Her hands are shaking now, not from fear, from something else, something she cannot name. Behind her, Marcus watches her go. His mind is already working, processing, calculating. This woman is different. The question is why, and whether that difference matters. He thinks of his father's watch on his wrist, the weight of it, the history. He thinks of the question that has haunted him for 23 years. And he makes a decision that will change everything. He is going to test this woman, going to see if she is what she appears to be, going to discover if integrity and intelligence can coexist with desperation and need. The test will not be a dollar bill. That would be too simple, too clean. The test will be dangerous, painful. It will open wounds that have been festering for decades. It will force both of them to confront truths they have spent years avoiding. But that understanding comes later. For now, Sarah returns with his drink, sets it down with practiced precision, takes his order, moves through the ritual of service with the professional efficiency. Neither of them knows yet that this is not an ending. It is the beginning of everything. The fifth course arrives at precisely 8:37. Wagyu A5 beef, $300 for 4 ounces of meat. The presentation is art. The chef has arranged the beef over a bed of truffle puree, garnished with microgreens that cost more per pound than most people's weekly grocery budget. The plate itself is handmade ceramic from Japan, chosen specifically to complement the color of the beef. Marcus cuts into it. One bite, sets his fork down. The gesture is small, precise, final. Sarah sees it from across the dining room. Her stomach drops. She knows what is coming, has seen it before with other demanding clients. But something about Marcus Cole feels different, more dangerous, more consequential. She approaches the table, professional smile in place, voice carefully modulated. "Is everything all right with your course, sir?" Marcus looks up. His steel blue eyes hold hers. "Tell Chef Antoine the Wagyu is overcooked. Should be 125 degrees internal. This is 140. The words land like stones in still water. Ripples spread outward. Other diners glance over. Pretend not to listen while listening intently. Sarah's heart rate spikes. Chef Antoine has 2 Michelin stars, an ego the size of his kitchen, a reputation for volcanic reactions to criticism. Complaining to Antoine about his cooking is not customer feedback. It is declaration of war. "Of course, sir, I will inform the chef immediately." She walks toward the kitchen. Each step requires conscious effort. Her body wants to turn around, find a different life, somewhere without this constant walking on knives. The kitchen is controlled chaos. 20 chefs working in synchronized precision. Steam rising, pans clanging, orders being called out in French and English and Spanish. The heat is oppressive, the noise overwhelming. Chef Antoine stands at the central station, plating a dish with the concentration of a neurosurgeon. He is 50 years old, trained under masters in Lyon, came to New York to prove that French cuisine could survive in America's cultural wasteland. His whites are spotless despite the chaos around him. "Chef," Sarah says. Her voice cuts through the noise. "Table 7, Mr. Cole says the Wagyu is overcooked. 140 instead of 125. The kitchen does not go silent. That would be too dramatic, too theatrical. Instead, the noise shifts, becomes muted, watchful. Everyone knows what happens when Antoine receives criticism. Antoine sets down his tweezers, turns slowly. His face transitions through several colors. Pink, red, a concerning shade of purple. "Overcooked?" His accent thickens with rage. "Impossible! I have cooked Wagyu for 30 years. Who is this amateur to tell me about—" The sous chef, a young woman named Maria who has worked with Antoine for 5 years and knows his patterns, checks the sous vide machine. Her face goes pale. "Chef," she says quietly, "the thermometer. He is correct. 140.5 degrees. The silence that follows is absolute, complete, the kind of silence that precedes explosions. Antoine's voice drops to a whisper. The whisper is somehow more terrifying than the shouting. "You tell him," he says to Sarah, each word bitten off with precision, "that I will personally prepare a new one. And if he still complains, he can leave my restaurant." Sarah nods, turns to leave. But through the kitchen pass, through the opening where finished plates are transferred from kitchen to dining room, she sees something. Marcus Cole is watching, has been watching. The pass provides a clear line of sight from table 7 to the kitchen. He heard every word, and he is not angry. His expression is something else. Interested, intrigued. As if he just watched Sarah pass a test she did not know she was taking. He whispers something to Gerard, too quiet for Sarah to hear. But Gerard's eyes widen. Whatever Marcus said, it surprised the unflappable maitre d'. 5 minutes later, the new Wagyu arrives. Perfect, 125 degrees. Marcus cuts, tastes, nods. "Much better. Please thank Chef Antoine." Sarah allows herself to breathe, crisis averted. The evening continues. Courses 6, 7, and 8 proceed without incident. The food is exceptional. Marcus's demeanor is polite, almost pleasant. Sarah begins to relax into the rhythm of service. Then course 9 arrives. Foie gras torchon, $180. the pinnacle of French technique, weeks of preparation for a single dish. Antoine's signature. Marcus does not taste it. Send this back. Sarah's stomach drops for the second time. Once could be legitimate criticism. Twice feels like something else. A pattern. A game. May I ask what is wrong, sir? Marcus taps the plate with his fork. The sound is delicate, precise. A judge's gavel rendered in silver and porcelain. The torchon is served at the wrong temperature. Should be 50 degrees. This is 58. The texture will be grainy. Sarah feels something crack inside her. A dam breaking. A restraint giving way. She has been awake for 19 hours. Her sister is dying. Her savings account contains $8,000 against debts of $390,000. She serves food she cannot afford to eat to people who do not see her as human. And this entitled billionaire is playing food critic. With respect, sir, Chef Antoine has, Marcus interrupts. His voice remains calm. The calmness is somehow worse than anger would be. 2 Michelin stars. I know. I also know that foie gras torchon at 58 degrees loses its silky texture. The fat crystals destabilize. It is science, not opinion. Sarah stares at him. Then before she can stop herself, before professionalism can reassert control, she says, "And how exactly did you measure the temperature from across the table?" The words hang in the air. Every person within earshot freezes. Waiters pause mid-step. Nearby diners stop chewing. The piano player misses a note, though he recovers so quickly that only Sarah notices. Did she just challenge a billionaire? In public? In front of witnesses? Marcus's expression shifts. The corner of his mouth moves upward. Not a smirk. Something warmer. More genuine. I did not, he says, but you are about to. There is an infrared thermometer in your service station. Check it. Sarah stares at him for 3 heartbeats. 4. Then walks to the service station, grabs the thermometer they use for food safety checks, returns to table 7, points it at the foie gras. The digital readout appears, 58.3 degrees Fahrenheit. She looks at Marcus. He is watching her with the same expression. Interested, evaluating, waiting to see what she does next. You are right, she says finally. I know. Sarah turns to leave. No. She stops, turns back. Marcus leans back in his chair. The movement is casual. The casualness is deliberate. I do not want another one. I want to see what you do next. The statement is not a request, not quite a command. Something in between. A test disguised as a question, disguised as an observation. Sarah makes a decision, the kind of decision that defines character, shows what someone is made of when the easy path and the right path diverge. Then I recommend we move to course 10. The palate cleanser will reset your taste for the desserts. Marcus studies her. His steel blue eyes seem to see past the uniform, past the professional mask, to something underneath. Smart. What is your background, Sarah? Restaurant management, sir. That is what you do, not who you are. Try again. The question is invasive, inappropriate, but Sarah is too tired to maintain pretense, too worn down to perform. Johns Hopkins, medical school dropout. Now I serve $800 dinners to people who think thermometer readings make them experts. The silence that follows lasts exactly 4 seconds. Then Marcus laughs. It is not the polite chuckle of social lubricant. It is a real laugh, deep, genuine, surprised out of him. Other diners turn to look. Marcus Cole does not laugh, not in public, not like this. Fair, he says when he recovers. Why did you drop out? Family reasons. Debt? Sarah's jaw tightens. The question crosses a line, but so did everything else about this interaction. Is there anything else you need, Mr. Cole? Your dessert? Yes, sit down. I'm working, sir. Marcus signals to Gerard. The maitre d' approaches immediately. Years of training manifest in the speed of his response. Gerard, Miss Sarah is taking her break. Now. Gerard nods. He looks concerned, confused. But he does not argue. No one argues with Marcus Cole. Sarah has no choice. She sits. The chair is more comfortable than any chair in her apartment. The leather is butter soft. The height is perfectly calibrated for the table. Sitting here feels like violation. This space is meant for people whose net worth has 9 zeros, not for waitresses who sleep on futons in Brooklyn. Marcus steeples his fingers. The gesture is almost professorial, as if he is about to deliver a lecture on portfolio management or pharmaceutical pricing strategies. Sarah, I am going to offer you something. You can say yes or no, but before you decide, you need to know 3 things. He holds up one finger. 1, I investigated you the moment you challenged me about the thermometer. My team takes 90 seconds to pull a full background. Johns Hopkins? Yes. Dropped out senior year when your father, Dr. Robert Mitchell, died. Car accident, they said. You do not believe that. Sarah's blood turns to ice. The temperature in the room drops 20 degrees. How does he know that? How could he possibly know that? Marcus holds up a second finger. 2, your sister Lily, acute lymphoblastic leukemia. You need $204,000 in 3 weeks or she does not get treatment. You have 8,000. The world tilts. Sarah grips the edge of the table. The room spins. This is not possible. This information is private. Medical records are protected. How does this man know her sister's diagnosis? Her financial situation? The exact parameters of her desperation? Marcus holds up a third finger. 3, I can give you that money tonight. All of it, plus 100,000 extra for your student loans. Deposited in your account within 1 hour. Sarah cannot breathe, cannot think. The offer is impossible. No one gives $304,000 to a stranger, not without wanting something, not without demanding payment in return. Her voice comes out as a whisper. What do you want? Marcus reaches into his jacket pocket, removes an envelope, sets it on the table between them. The envelope is manila, standard, unremarkable except for the stamp across the front. Confidential Sterling Industries. Your medical expertise and your silence. For 72 hours. For what? My father died 23 years ago, cancer, or so we thought. Open this. Sarah's hands shake as she opens the envelope. Inside are medical records. Old, photocopied, but comprehensive. She scans them. The medical school training activates. Pattern recognition, diagnostic thinking, pharmacological knowledge, pancreatic cancer diagnosis. Stage 3, treatment protocol initiated. But the medications listed are wrong, all wrong. Not wrong in the sense of outdated, wrong in the sense of contradictory. Medications that would accelerate tumor growth, not inhibit it. Doses that would cause organ failure rather than prevent it. Her training allows her to see what a layperson would miss. This is not medical error. This is deliberate, systematic. Someone carefully crafted a treatment protocol designed to kill the patient faster while maintaining the appearance of proper care. She looks up. Her face must show her realization because Marcus nods. This was not treatment, Sarah says. Her voice is hollow. This was murder. Someone deliberately gave him medications to kill him faster. Exactly, and I need to know who and why. You have 72 hours to analyze every medical record in that file. Find me proof, find me a name. Why me? You could hire anyone. But could I trust them? Marcus leans forward. His intensity increases. You challenge me tonight. Most people are too intimidated. You are not. That tells me you have integrity. And I need someone with integrity for this. Because if I am right, he pauses. The pause carries weight. The person who killed my father still works for me, and they have been poisoning my company for 23 years. Sarah looks at the envelope, looks at this man. Powerful, dangerous, but in his eyes she sees something familiar. Grief, the same grief she carries. The grief of losing a father to something that feels wrong, unjust, preventable. Her phone buzzes, a text message from the hospital. Lily asking for you, Dr. Chen. $304,000. Lily lives or walk away, Lily dies. The mathematics are brutal, absolute, without mercy. If I do this, Sarah says slowly, and find what you are looking for, what happens? Justice, the person who did this goes to prison. My father's name is cleared. and you save your sister. And if I do not find anything? Marcus's expression softens, just slightly, just enough. You keep the money anyway, because saving Lily is more important than my vendetta. The statement stuns her. This man, this billionaire who could buy and sell her life 1,000 times over, is telling her that a little girl's life matters more than his revenge. The gesture is unexpected, deeply human. It changes the calculation in ways she does not fully understand. Sarah's hands shake as she reaches for the envelope. 72 hours. I will need access to Sterling Industries' medical files. Full access. Marcus slides a business card across the table. Black, embossed, his private number. Text me, tonight. My driver will bring you to my office. 3 a.m., no one will be there. He stands, places $5,000 in cash on the table. The meal cost $847. The rest is not a tip. It is something else. Compensation, recognition, payment for a service not yet rendered. Oh, and Sarah? He pauses before leaving. Your father's death? Not an accident. Same person, same method. You will see. He walks away, leaves her sitting at table 7 with an envelope full of evidence and a promise that will change both their lives. The restaurant continues around her. Conversations resume. Glasses clink. The piano plays. But Sarah sits frozen, trembling. The envelope weighs nothing. Feels like it weighs everything. She does not know yet that in 71 hours and 43 minutes, she will be standing in FBAC headquarters. That testimony will be in her hands. That she will watch Victor Sterling being arrested. That justice, real justice, will finally arrive. But before that moment comes, she will face 3 attempts on her life. She will discover the truth about her father's death. And she will fall in love with a man she should not love. The clock starts now. 3 o'clock in the morning in Manhattan is the city's secret hour, the time when the relentless energy finally ebbs, when the streets empty just enough to reveal the skeleton underneath the skin, when you can hear your own footsteps echo off buildings that tower into darkness. Sarah stands outside Sterling Industries headquarters. The building is glass and steel, 70 stories, a monument to pharmaceutical success and medical innovation. During daylight, it gleams. At 3 a.m., it looks like obsidian, dark, imposing, slightly sinister. She is still wearing her restaurant uniform, has not been home, has not slept. Texted Marcus at midnight, received a response in 30 seconds with an address and a time. A car picked her up at 2:45, a Mercedes. The driver did not speak, did not need to. The silence was answer enough. The lobby is empty except for a security guard who has clearly been expecting her. He checks her ID, nods, gestures to the elevator bank without speaking. The efficiency suggests this has been arranged in advance, that Marcus Cole's reach extends into every corner of his company, that privacy is guaranteed. The elevator rises in silence. The numbers climb, 40, 50, 52. The doors open. Marcus's office occupies the entire 52nd floor. There is no reception area, no assistant's desk, no waiting room. The elevator opens directly into his private domain. The space is vast, empty in the way powerful people's offices are empty. Minimal furniture, maximum impact, a glass desk that seems to float, a Herman Miller chair that costs more than Sarah's monthly rent, a Rothko painting on one wall. She does not know art, but she knows scale. The painting is enormous, museum quality, the kind of thing that appears in textbooks about 20th century abstract expressionism. The windows provide a 360-degree view of Manhattan. At this hour, the city is a constellation of lights. Each light represents a life, a story, a person moving through their private darkness toward whatever morning brings. Marcus stands at the windows. He has changed. No tuxedo now. Dark jeans, black Henley. The casual clothes make him look younger, more human, less like a corporate titan, and more like a person who might exist outside boardrooms and benefit galas. Sarah, he says without turning, thank you for coming. You made it difficult to refuse. I intended to. He turns, meets her eyes. Everything you need is on the conference table. 23 years of medical records. Personnel files, pharmaceutical trial data, all digital, encrypted. This laptop is air-gapped. Nothing leaves this room. Sarah approaches the table. The laptop is open, waiting. The screen shows a file directory, thousands of files organized by date, by patient, by medication, by outcome. You said my father, Robert Mitchell. You think he is connected? I know he is. Look at file M7. Sarah clicks. The file opens. Her hands start shaking before she finishes reading the header. Dr. Robert Mitchell, ER physician. Incident report, 2017. She reads. The words blur. Refocus. Blur again. This cannot be real. This cannot be what happened. The memory comes back. 7 years old but fresh as yesterday. The night her father did not come home. The police at the door. The identification of the body. The investigation that concluded he had made a critical error. Given the wrong medication to a patient who subsequently died. The suspension of his medical license. The public shame. The private agony. 2 months after the suspension, his car went off a bridge. Single vehicle accident. No witnesses. The police ruled it suicide. Grief-driven, a man who could not live with the weight of his mistake. But the file on the screen tells a different story. The timestamps do not align. Her father logged the correct medication at 9:14 p.m. The system shows a change at 9:17 p.m. 3 minutes later, after her father's shift ended, someone with administrative access altered the medication order. Made it look like Robert Mitchell had prescribed the wrong drug. The patient died. Robert Mitchell was blamed. And the truth was buried in server logs that no one thought to check. Sarah stands, walks to the window, presses her forehead against the glass. The city blurs through her tears. 7 years. 7 years of believing her father had made a mistake. 7 years of carrying guilt. Wondering if she could have prevented it. If she had called him that night. If she had been there. If. 7 years of being wrong about everything. The patient, Marcus says quietly. He has moved closer, not touching her, but present. Victor Sterling's nephew. Drug overdose from counterfeit pain medication. Medication Sterling Industries was testing illegally. Your father found out. So they framed him. Drove him to suicide. Sarah cannot speak, cannot breathe. The pain in her chest is physical, actual, a crushing weight that makes her knees buckle. Marcus catches her, his hands on her shoulders, steady, grounding. I am sorry, he says. I know this is... Sarah turns, wipes her eyes. Her voice comes out fierce, angry, determined. Give me 48 hours. I will find you every single piece of evidence, and then I want that bastard to burn. Marcus nods. Good, because I need one more thing from you. What? He hesitates. The hesitation is uncharacteristic. Marcus Cole does not hesitate, does not show uncertainty. But right now, in this moment, he looks vulnerable. Come work for me. Not as a waitress, as my personal medical consultant. $200,000 per year salary. Full benefits for Lily's treatment. You live in my guest penthouse. 24/7 access to these files. You help me build this case. Sarah stares at him. Why would you? Because I trust you, and trust is worth more than money. Will you do it? This is the moment, the decision point. The fork in the road where one path leads to safety and the other leads into unknown territory filled with danger and possibility in equal measure. Sarah thinks of Lily, drawing pictures in a hospital bed, waiting for medicine that will never come unless Sarah finds $300,000. She thinks of her father, driving off that bridge, believing he had failed, believing the lie they told about him. She thinks of this man in front of her, this complicated, wounded billionaire offering her everything she needs and asking for the one thing she has left, her integrity, her intelligence, her willingness to step into his world and help him find truth in the darkness. I will do it, she says, but on one condition. Name it. When we find who did this, to your father, to mine, we do not just ruin them financially, we put them in prison. Real prison. Federal. Marcus extends his hand. Deal. She takes it. His hand is warm, calloused in unexpected places. The handshake lasts 1 second longer than professional. Both notice, both release. Something passes between them in that moment. Not attraction, not yet, but recognition. Two damaged people with a common enemy and a common cause. The foundation of something that could become partnership, could become trust, could become more than either of them is ready to name. There is one more thing, Marcus says. You will have security with you 24/7. Agent Torres, she is FBI, embedded undercover. She will pose as your assistant. FBI, you are already working with them? For 3 years. Victor Sterling does not know, but we are close. And now with you, he pauses. We can finish this. Sarah nods, sits down at the laptop, begins clicking through files. Her medical training activates. Pattern recognition, diagnostic thinking, the ability to see connections that others miss. Marcus watches her work, sees the transformation. The waitress persona drops away. Underneath is the doctor she almost became. Brilliant, focused, capable. He made the right choice bringing her in. He does not know yet that in 14 hours someone will try to kill her, that the security camera he believes is secure has been compromised. That right now, at this very moment, someone is watching them, learning their plans, preparing to eliminate the threat. The countdown to violence has begun. But for now, in this office 52 floors above Manhattan, two people work toward justice, toward truth, toward something neither of them can name, but both of them need. Outside, the city begins its daily resurrection. The sky lightens, morning comes, and with it, the next 70 hours, the next choices, the next steps toward a reckoning that has been 23 years in the making. The Sterling reckoning has truly begun. Dawn breaks over Manhattan with the kind of light that makes promises. The sky transitions from black to purple to pink to gold in gradual increments. Each shade represents possibility. Each moment suggests that today might be different from yesterday. That change, real change, is possible if you want it badly enough. Sarah has been awake for 31 hours straight. Her eyes burn, her back aches, her fingers cramp from typing. But she cannot stop, will not stop. The files on Marcus's laptop contain a story, a conspiracy, a pattern of deliberate medical malpractice spanning 2 decades. Every file she opens reveals another victim, another family destroyed, another life ended prematurely by medications designed to heal, but weaponized to kill. The sun rises behind her. She does not notice, does not turn to watch the city wake. Her entire world has contracted to the 13-inch screen in front of her and the truth it contains. Marcus sits across the conference table. He has not slept either. Has spent the night making phone calls to contacts whose names Sarah does not recognize. Lawyers, investigators, people who operate in shadows and speak in careful euphemisms, building the infrastructure for what comes next, preparing for war. At 6:17 a.m., Sarah finds something. Marcus, her voice cuts through the silence. He looks up immediately, alert despite the sleepless night. I have it, the pattern. It is not just your father. She turns the laptop so he can see. On the screen is a spreadsheet she has built. Patient names in one column, dates in another, medications in a third, outcomes in a fourth. The pattern is unmistakable once you know what to look for. 17 patients over 23 years, all high profile, all wealthy or politically connected, all enrolled in Sterling Industries clinical trials, all prescribed medication protocols that should have helped but instead accelerated their decline. And all of them died within 6 months of starting treatment. The probability of this happening by chance is effectively zero. This is not medical error. This is systematic, intentional, murder disguised as clinical misfortune. Marcus studies the spreadsheet. His face shows nothing. But Sarah has spent enough hours with him now to recognize the micro expressions, the tightening around his eyes, the slight tension in his jaw, the way his right hand curls into a fist. Who benefits? He asks. His voice is quiet, controlled. The quietness is dangerous. That is what I cannot figure out. Your father owned the company. These patients were paying customers. Their deaths cost Sterling Industries millions in lost revenue and potential lawsuits. There is no financial motive. Then what motive? Sarah leans back, rubs her eyes, tries to think through the exhaustion. Control, maybe? These patients were all people with influence. Senators, CEOs, media executives. What if someone wanted them gone? What if Sterling Industries was being used as a weapon? A way to eliminate threats that looked like natural causes. Marcus stands, walks to the windows. The sun is fully up now. The city below is in full motion. 8 million people starting their day, going to work, drinking coffee, complaining about subway delays, living their lives in blessed ignorance of the darknesses that exists in spaces like this. In decisions made in corner offices 52 floors above the street. We need more, he says finally. This shows the pattern, but not the perpetrator. We need to know who gave the orders, who altered the treatment protocols, who has administrative access to these files. That will take time, days, maybe weeks. Marcus checks his watch. The Patek Philippe catches the morning light, his father's watch. The weight of it on his wrist is a constant reminder of why this matters, why they cannot stop, why justice delayed is justice denied. Then we start now, he says, but first you need to do something for me. What? You need to meet your sister, and I need to meet her too. The request surprises Sarah. Why would Marcus Cole, billionaire CEO, want to meet an 8-year-old girl dying of leukemia? What possible interest could he have in Lily? But she is too tired to question, too wrung out to analyze motives. She nods. They take his car. The Mercedes glides through morning traffic with the serene indifference of expensive engineering. Sarah sits in the passenger seat, watching the city pass. Everything looks different now. Sharper, more real, as if the sleepless night has stripped away some protective layer between her and the world. Marcus does not speak during the drive. His hands rest on the steering wheel at 10 and 2. Perfect position. His attention is complete. Total. Even in something as mundane as driving, he brings absolute focus. The hospital parking garage is underground. Fluorescent lights flicker. The smell is antiseptic mixed with exhaust. They take the elevator to the pediatric ward. Sarah has made this journey hundreds of times, knows every turn, every corridor, every elevator button to push. But having Marcus beside her changes it, makes it unfamiliar, as if she is seeing it for the first time through someone else's eyes. The pediatric ward is quiet this early. Visiting hours have not officially begun, but the nurses know Sarah. Wave her through. Do not question the tall man in the expensive casual clothes who follows her like a shadow. Lily is awake, sitting up in bed, drawing, always drawing. Her bald head catches the morning light coming through the window. She looks fragile, breakable, but her eyes are bright, alert, engaged with the world in the way only children can manage. She looks up when Sarah enters. Her smile could power the eastern seaboard. Sarah, you came early today. I brought someone to meet you, baby. Lily's attention shifts to Marcus. She studies him with the unfiltered directness of children. No social pretense, no polite fiction, just pure observation. You are very tall, she announces. Marcus smiles. The smile transforms his face, erases years, reveals the person he might have been if life had been kinder. I am, he agrees, and you are very talented. He nods at the drawing. Lily looks down at her work, then back up at him. Do you want to see? Very much. Lily holds up the paper. It shows 3 figures holding hands. A woman, a small girl, and a tall man. The woman and girl are rendered in bright colors. The man is sketched in pencil, lighter, less certain, as if Lily was not sure whether to commit him to permanence. That is Sarah, she points. That is me, and that is you. Sarah's throat closes. How did Lily know? How could she possibly know that this man would be important? That he would matter? That he would change everything? Marcus kneels beside the bed, brings himself down to Lily's eye level. The gesture is unconscious, natural, the body language of someone who knows how to make children feel safe. Thank you for including me, he says quietly. I am Marcus. I am Lily. I have leukemia. The statement is matter of fact, clinical. She has heard the word enough times that it has lost its terror, become just another adjective describing her current state, like having brown eyes or being left-handed. I know, Marcus says, and I am going to help your sister make sure you get better. With medicine? With medicine. And other things? What other things? Marcus glances at Sarah, then back at Lily. Justice, he says. Sometimes people get sick because other people made bad choices. I am going to make sure those people answer for what they did. Lily considers this, her 8-year-old brain processing concepts too heavy for childhood. Like superheroes? Something like that. Sarah says superheroes are not real. Sarah's very smart, but maybe she is wrong about this one thing. Lily grins, then with the casual acceptance of children who have spent too much time in hospitals, she asks, "Can you stay? Dr. Chen is coming soon. He is nice, but his stories are boring. Do you have better stories?" Marcus settles into the chair beside the bed, his $3,000 jeans on institutional furniture, his $1 million watch next to a child's water cup. The juxtaposition should be absurd. Instead, it feels right, natural. I know a few, he says. Once upon a time, there was a king who had everything but was happy with nothing. Sarah watches from the doorway, watches this powerful man tell stories to her dying sister, watches Lily laugh, watches the morning sun paint them both in gold. Something shifts inside her, something she has kept locked away since Michael died, since her father drove off that bridge, since she learned that the world is cruel and justice is rare and good things do not happen to people like her. The shift is small, subtle, but irreversible. She is in trouble, deep trouble, the kind that changes everything. 3 weeks pass in a blur of activity. Sarah moves into Marcus's guest penthouse. 2,000 square feet of luxury she cannot process. Floor-to-ceiling windows, designer furniture, a kitchen larger than her entire Brooklyn apartment. The closet contains clothes in her size. How Marcus knew her measurements, she does not ask, does not want to know. Some questions are better left unexamined. Agent Rebecca Torres arrives on day 2. She is 34 years old, 5'6", black hair pulled back in a severe bun, brown eyes that miss nothing. She has been with the FBI for 12 years, investigating Sterling Industries for 3. She carries a gun under her blazer and a law degree from Georgetown. "I will be your assistant," she tells Sarah during their first meeting. "As far as anyone knows, Marcus hired me to help you manage his medical consulting. In reality, I am building the federal case. Everything you find, you tell me. Everything." Sarah nods. The partnership feels surreal. Yesterday, she was serving pasta to investment bankers. Today, she is working with the FBI to bring down a pharmaceutical empire. The investigation consumes her. She and Marcus work 18-hour days, analyzing files, cross-referencing patient records, building timelines, identifying suspects. The list of people with administrative access to medical files is surprisingly short. 7 people, all senior executives, all with decades of loyalty to Sterling Industries, all except one, Victor Sterling himself, chairman of the board, Marcus's mentor, the man who took over the company after Marcus's father died, who guided the young, grieving heir through the transition, who helped build Sterling Industries into a $17 billion enterprise. The evidence points to him, not conclusively, not yet, but the pattern is there. Every altered file was changed from his administrative account. Every suspicious death occurred during clinical trials he personally oversaw. Every victim had one thing in common beyond their wealth and influence. They had all, at some point, threatened Sterling Industries' profitability. A senator who wanted to regulate drug pricing, a journalist investigating clinical trial safety, a rival CEO planning a hostile takeover, an FDA inspector who found concerning data. All dead within 6 months of becoming problems. The motive is not greed, it is control, the elimination of threats, the protection of an empire built on the graves of inconvenient people. Sarah presents her findings to Marcus on day 19. They are in his office. The sun is setting. The city below transitions from day to night. The lights come on building by building, a million artificial stars being born. Marcus reads her report in silence. His face shows nothing. But Sarah has learned to read the micro-expressions, the slight tension in his shoulders, the way his breathing changes, the unconscious touching of his father's watch. "Victor," he says finally. Not a question, a statement, an acknowledgement of something he has suspected but hoped was not true. "The evidence is circumstantial," Sarah admits. "A good lawyer could argue coincidence, claim his account was hacked, suggest someone else had access, but the pattern is unmistakable." "How many people has he killed?" 17 that I can prove. Probably more. The files only go back 23 years. Sterling Industries has existed for 50. Marcus stands, walks to the window, looks down at the city his father's company helped build. The lives saved by medications developed here. The good done alongside the evil. The complexity of institutions and the people who run them. "My father trusted him," Marcus says quietly, "considered him a friend, left me in his care, and he murdered him. We do not know that for certain, not yet. I cannot prove Victor was the one who altered your father's treatment protocol, only that someone with his access level did. It was him. How do you know?" Marcus turns from the window. His steel blue eyes are cold, certain, final. "Because I know Victor Sterling. I have worked with him for 23 years, learned from him, trusted him, and I have seen how he operates. He eliminates problems. That is what he does. That is who he is. My father was about to discover something. I do not know what, but it was enough to make Victor act, enough to kill for. What do we do? We finish this. We find proof that will stand up in federal court, and then we watch Agent Torres arrest him." Sarah nods. They return to work. But something has changed. The investigation is no longer abstract, no longer about justice in the general sense. It is personal, specific, about two fathers killed by the same man, about two families destroyed, about debts that can only be paid in truth. Meanwhile, another timeline progresses in parallel. Marcus has not abandoned his plan to open a new restaurant. Serafina, the legitimate business that will prove he can build something good, something that matters beyond quarterly earnings reports and pharmaceutical patents. He asks Sarah to help manage it, not because she has experience, she does not, but because he trusts her judgment, wants her perspective, needs her to be part of this new thing he is creating. Sarah meets with Chef Antoine, learns about cuisine and kitchen management and the 1,000 details that separate excellent restaurants from merely good ones. She studies under Carmen Vitale, the general manager of Marcus's flagship restaurant, a woman who runs a dining room with the precision of a military campaign. Carmen is 43 years old, severe, brilliant. She looks at Sarah and sees something, potential, maybe, or recognition, as if she too once stood where Sarah stands now, on the precipice of a life change, deciding whether to jump. Marcus does not bring people into his world lightly, Carmen tells her during a late-night training session. "If he has chosen you for this, you must be extraordinary. I'm a waitress who dropped out of medical school. You are a survivor who challenges billionaires to their face. Do not minimize yourself. It is unbecoming." The words land hard. Sarah has spent 7 years minimizing herself, making herself small, invisible, safe. But Carmen is right. That version of her is dying, being replaced by something else, someone else. A woman who works with the FBI, who manages restaurants, who sits in corner offices and demands justice. The transformation is terrifying and exhilarating in equal measure. 3 weeks after that night at the Pinnacle, Serafina opens. Opening night is controlled chaos. Sarah has spent 72 consecutive hours on site, overseeing final preparations, solving last-minute crises, managing staff and vendors and inspectors. She has not been this exhausted since her residency at Johns Hopkins. But the exhaustion is different, purposeful, in service of something that matters. The restaurant is beautiful. Marcus spared no expense. Soaring ceilings, exposed brick, custom lighting that makes the space feel both intimate and grand. Floor-to-ceiling windows providing views of the meatpacking district. The open kitchen gleaming with stainless steel. Every detail perfect. Sarah stands in the center of the empty dining room at 4 p.m., 2 hours before first seating. Her heart pounds, her hands shake. She has a senator coming tonight, 2 Michelin-starred chefs, 4 restaurant critics, No margin for error, no room for mistakes. Marcus appears beside her. When did he arrive? She did not hear him. He has this ability to move through space without disturbing it. You look like you are going to throw up, he observes. I might. You are ready. How do you know? Because I have watched you work for 3 weeks. You have thought of everything, planned for every contingency, built a team that would follow you into fire. You are ready. The confidence in his voice is absolute, unshakable. Sarah wishes she felt even a fraction of it. What if I am not? She asks quietly. Marcus reaches out, adjusts the collar of her black dress. His fingers linger perhaps a moment too long. The touch is gentle, deliberate, intimate in a way that makes her breath catch. Then you improvise. That is what makes you good at this. You do not freeze under pressure. The heat of his touch radiates through the thin fabric. 3 weeks of late nights, close proximity, shared purpose. The professional boundaries have been eroding slowly, steadily, neither of them acknowledging it, both of them feeling it. A crisis interrupts the moment. Chef Antoine bursts through the kitchen doors. His whites are already splattered with sauce. His face is red. The foie gras, the supplier, he sends the wrong... Marcus's hand drops from Sarah's collar. The moment breaks. Reality reasserts itself. Fix it, Marcus says calmly. His eyes never leave Sarah's face. She will help you find an alternative. It is a test. Opening night. 2 hours to service. A crisis that could derail everything. Marcus is watching to see what she does, how she handles pressure, whether she can lead. Sarah takes a breath, pushes aside the confusion his proximity always creates, switches into problem-solving mode. Antoine, what did we get instead of the foie gras? Duck liver, common, pedestrian, unacceptable. Can you make a parfait, something that elevates it? Antoine's eyes narrow, considering, calculating. Perhaps with cognac, with black truffle to enhance the... Show me. She follows him into the kitchen, leaves Marcus standing in the dining room, but she feels his eyes on her, the weight of his attention, the belief he has in her ability. By 6 p.m., the crisis is solved. Chef Antoine has created a duck liver parfait with cognac and black truffle that may actually be better than the original plan. By 6:30, the staff is in position. By 6:45, Sarah is near the kitchen entrance, watching the dining room fill with New York's elite and wondering if she is going to hyperventilate. Marcus appears at her elbow, 2 glasses of champagne in hand. He has been greeting guests near the entrance, playing the gracious owner. But now he is here with her. Breathe, he says. If I start breathing, I will remember to panic. Then panic later. Right now, trust that you have done everything right. He hands her the champagne. Their fingers brush. The contact sends electricity up her arm. She has stopped pretending these reactions are meaningless. Stopped lying to herself about what is happening between them. 3 weeks of proximity, shared mission, mutual respect growing into something more. Something neither of them has named, but both of them feel. She sips the champagne. The bubbles are sharp, perfect. She watches Marcus over the rim of the glass. He is watching her back. To Serafina, he says, raising his glass, and to the woman who made it possible. The toast hangs between them, heavy with implication. The glasses touch, delicate chime. They drink, the moment extends. Neither wants to break it. Then a crash from the dining room shatters everything. Table 7, a waiter, one of Sarah's newer hires, has dropped an entire tray of appetizers. Scallops and microgreens scattered across the floor. White porcelain shattered into abstract patterns. The waiter stands frozen, horrified. Every eye in the restaurant turns. This is it. Opening night disaster. The story that will make tomorrow's reviews. Serafina opens with literal crash. The headline writes itself. Then Marcus does something Sarah will remember for the rest of her life. He laughs, not a polite chuckle, a real, genuine laugh that carries across the dining room with infectious warmth. Well, he calls out, his accent thickening slightly with amusement. At least we know the scallops are fresh enough to bounce. The tension shatters like the porcelain. A few guests chuckle, then more. Within seconds, the entire dining room is laughing with him. The potential disaster transforms into charming anecdote. The crashed plates become evidence of authenticity. Real service in a real restaurant where real things sometimes go wrong. Marcus moves smoothly into the space, helps the mortified waiter collect the broken porcelain, turns crisis into connection, makes 50 strangers feel like they are part of something rather than witnesses to failure. No harm, he assures the table. His smile is devastating. Genuine. Your appetizers will be out in 5 minutes. On the house, naturally. And I promise we will be more careful with delivery. By the time he returns to Sarah, the incident has already transformed into dinner party story. The night Marcus Cole serves scallops with gravitational assistance. The anecdote they will tell friends for years. How did you do that? Sarah breathes. Marcus shrugs, sets down the broken porcelain he collected. People forgive mistakes if you handle them with grace. They remember how you made them feel, not what went wrong. Sarah stares at him. This man who commands empires and runs restaurants with equal skill, who reads rooms like conductors read scores, who just saved their opening with a laugh and a joke and the confidence to make embarrassment seem intentional. Thank you, she says quietly. Do not thank me yet. The night is not over. But the night is perfect. Service flows like water. Chef Antoine's food is transcendent. Every plate a work of art. The wine pairing sublime. The atmosphere exactly what Sarah envisioned. Elegant but not stuffy. Exclusive but not pretentious. By 10 p.m., Sarah stops holding her breath. By 11, she is watching the dining room with something close to pride. Senator Morrison wants to meet her. Marcus brings him over. The senator is exactly what Sarah expected. Silver-haired, commanding presence. The kind of handshake that broadcasts power. Ms. Mitchell, this is exceptional, he says. I have eaten at every notable restaurant in this city. Serafina is already among the best. You are very kind. I am very honest. Marcus told me you were special. He undersold it. Sarah glances at Marcus. He is watching their interaction with barely concealed satisfaction. Proud, as if her success is his success. As if they are partners in this in a way that goes beyond professional. The last guest departs at 12:30 a.m. By 1, the staff has cleaned and reset for tomorrow. By 1:15, it is just Sarah and Marcus in the empty dining room. 2 glasses of wine between them. We did it, Sarah says, still not quite believing. You did it. I just wrote the checks. You saved us from the scallop disaster. That was nothing. You handled the foie gras crisis. You managed Antoine when he wanted to quit over the wrong pans. You interviewed and trained 60 people in 3 weeks. He leans back in his chair, studies her with those steel blue eyes that see everything. Serafina succeeded because of you. The praise should feel good. Instead, it feels like too much, like pressure building, like standing at the edge of something vast and unknown. I could not have done it without, Sarah starts. Without what? Marcus leans forward. The table between them feels both too wide and not nearly wide enough. Without you, the admission hangs in the air, heavy, loaded, true in ways that extend beyond Serafina, beyond restaurants and investigations and shared missions. Sarah, do you know what I thought the first time I saw you? Her heart is pounding. What? I thought finally someone who looks at me like I ukasebim. The words are confession, vulnerability, the stripping away of the billionaire persona to reveal the human underneath. You are not just a man, Sarah says quietly. You are dangerous, complicated, wrong for you, Marcus finishes for her. I know. I have been telling myself the same thing for 3 weeks. 3 weeks? The same amount of time Sarah has been lying to herself, pretending the late nights are just work. The lingering glances are meaningless. The magnetic pull between them does not exist. This is a bad idea, she whispers. Terrible, he agrees. Neither of them moves, neither looks away. The moment stretches, taut as wire. Both of them approaching a line they cannot uncross, both knowing it, both wanting it anyway. Then Sarah's phone shatters the tension, buzzing loud against the table, the hospital's number flashing on screen. She answers, listens. Her face goes pale. I will be there in 20 minutes. She hangs up, looks at Marcus. Lily, she had a seizure. They need me. Marcus is already standing, car keys in hand. His expression shifts instantly from intimate to commanding. I will drive you. You do not have to. Sarah, I am driving you. Do not argue. They make it to the hospital in 18 minutes. Marcus's Mercedes eating up the distance while Sarah sits rigid in the passenger seat, terrified, helpless, hating the feeling of having no control. Marcus does not try to reassure her with empty platitudes, just drives. One hand on the wheel, the other reaching across the center console to rest on hers. Warm, solid, present. They reach the pediatric ward. Dr. Chen is waiting. His expression is grave. Lily is stable now. The seizure was a complication from the leukemia progression. We need to start aggressive treatment immediately. We cannot wait the 3 weeks we discussed. Sarah's world tilts. How immediately? Tomorrow. The protocol we discussed. $340,000. I have the money. Sarah's voice is steady despite the terror. Marcus gave it to me. Start treatment as soon as possible. Dr. Chen nods, squeezes her shoulder. Leaves to make arrangements. Sarah turns to Marcus. He has been standing slightly behind her, a silent support. Thank you, she says. The words are inadequate, insufficient, but she has nothing better. Come on, Marcus says gently. Let us go see her. Lily is awake, groggy from medication but smiling when she sees them. She looks so small in the hospital bed, so fragile. Sarah's heart cracks. Sarah and Marcus! You came together, like in my drawing. We came together, Marcus confirms. He sits in the chair beside her bed, takes her small hand in his large one. How are you feeling, little one? Sleepy. Dr. Chen says I am going to get special medicine tomorrow. Strong medicine to help me get better. The best medicine, Sarah says. You are going to fight this, and you are going to win. Lily nods. Her eyelids are heavy, fighting to stay open. Will you tell me another story, she asked Marcus, about the king? Of course, once upon a time, the king learned that being brave did not mean not being scared. It meant doing the right thing even when you are scared. His voice is soft, gentle. Sarah watches him with this dying child, telling stories, offering comfort, being present in a way most billionaires never are, never need to be. The crack in her heart widens. She is in love with him. The realization hits with absolute clarity, despite every logical reason not to be. Despite the complications, despite knowing he lives in a world of darkness and violence and choices she does not fully understand, she loves him. And judging by the way he looks at her when Lily finally falls asleep, he loves her too. They do not speak of it during the drive back to his penthouse. Do not acknowledge the shift, but it exists between them now, undeniable, unavoidable. 2 weeks pass. Lily begins treatment. The medications are brutal. She loses the little remaining strength she had. But the cancer responds. The blood tests show improvement. Dr. Chen is cautiously optimistic. Sarah and Marcus fall into a rhythm. Days at Sterling Industries building the case against Victor. Evenings at Serafina managing the restaurant's early success. Nights visiting Lily at the hospital. The three of them becoming something like a family. Unconventional. Unplanned, but real. The investigation progresses. Torres confirms their findings, agrees the evidence points to Victor Sterling, begins building the federal case, coordinating with prosecutors, preparing for arrest warrants. Everything is falling into place. Justice is coming. Lily is responding to treatment. Serafina is a success. For the first time in 7 years, Sarah allows herself to hope. Then she finds the invoices. It is a Thursday afternoon, 2 weeks after opening night. Sarah is in her office at Serafina reviewing vendor accounts, making sure payments are processed correctly. The kind of tedious administrative work that comes with management. She clicks on the premium beverage supply file, their wine distributor, exclusive partnership. All of Serafina's wine comes through them. The numbers are wrong, not dramatically wrong, just off, as if someone added an extra zero to several line items. She checks previous months. The pattern is consistent. Payments inflated by 10 to 15%, routed through an account she does not recognize. then apparently returned to Serafina's main account with the correct amounts. Her medical training activates pattern recognition, diagnostic thinking, the ability to see what should not be there. This is money laundering, clean money going out, dirty money coming back, all disguised as legitimate business expenses, using her restaurant, her beautiful, perfect, legitimate restaurant, as a washing machine for criminal proceeds. The realization hits like physical blow. This is what Marcus does, what she knew he did abstractly, in some other part of his life separate from Serafina, from her, except it was never separate, had never been separate. She was so stupid. Her phone buzzes, text from Marcus. Dinner tonight, there is something I want to discuss. Sarah stares at the invoices, at the evidence of his deception, at proof that everything he told her about Serafina being completely legitimate was a lie. She types back with shaking hands. My office, 8 p.m. 7 hours to decide what to do with this information. 7 hours to choose between her integrity and a man she absolutely, terrifyingly loves. The choice should be easy, clear, obvious, but nothing about Marcus Cole has ever been simple. She sits at her desk until the sun goes down, until the city lights come on below, until the weight of the decision crushes the breath from her lungs. At exactly 8 p.m., her office door opens. Marcus enters carrying takeout from their favorite Thai place, wearing a soft smile that makes him look younger, vulnerable. You have been working too hard, he says. When is the last time you ate a real meal? Sarah cannot return his smile, cannot pretend, cannot maintain the fiction. We need to talk. His expression shifts, reading her tone, the careful walls going up. What is wrong? She slides the invoices across the desk. He looks at them for a long moment. His face goes carefully blank, the expression he wears when thinking fast, calculating, deciding how much truth to reveal. Sarah, do not, her voice is sharper than intended, do not insult me by pretending this is something else. I know what this is. Marcus sits down slowly, his eyes never leaving hers. What do you think it is? Money laundering, using premium beverage as a front to clean money through Serafina's accounts. You told me this place would be completely legitimate. You lied. The accusation hangs between them. Heavy, final. The end of something that barely had time to begin. Marcus leans forward, his intensity radiating across the desk. I did not lie. Serafina is legitimate. Every dollar we earn is clean. But yes, I am using the vendor relationships to move other money through the system. The confirmation feels like betrayal, like the ground opening beneath her feet. You used me, she says. The words come out smaller than she wants. You brought me in, made me believe we were building something honest. And you were using me the whole time. No, Marcus stands, starts pacing. I brought you in because I needed someone I could trust, someone who would run this place with integrity, someone who would not compromise. And yet you compromised it. Sarah stands too, needs the height, the distance. You turned my restaurant into part of your criminal empire. Your restaurant? His voice takes on an edge. Sarah, I built this. I financed it. I own it. You manage it. The words land like a punch, reminder of the power differential. The reality beneath the partnership. He is the boss. She is the employee who got ideas above her station. Right, she laughs, bitter, hollow. How could I forget? You are the billionaire. I am just the waitress you rescued, the charity case who should be grateful. That is not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Explain to me how using my restaurant to launder money is not betraying everything you said Serafina would be. Marcus stops pacing, faces her directly, his jaw tight, his eyes blazing with frustration. You want the truth? Fine. Yes, I am using vendor relationships here to move money, small amounts, carefully structured, nothing that would ever implicate you or Serafina directly. But the restaurant itself, every reservation, every meal, every dollar we earn, completely clean. That is not the point. The point, he cuts her off, voice rising slightly, is that I live in a complicated world. I have obligations, responsibilities to people who depend on me. I cannot just walk away from that because I want to build restaurants. Sarah feels her heart breaking, actually breaking. The pain is physical, real. This man she loves, this complicated, brilliant, damaged man, he is exactly what she knew he was, exactly what she tried not to see. Then you should not have told me this was different. You should not have made me believe. Believe what? He moves closer, too close. Close enough that she can see the storm in his eyes. That I was trying to change. I am. That I wanted to build something legitimate with you. I do. That I care about you more than I should. Sarah, He stops, jaw clenched, something burning in his expression that he cannot or will not name. You what? She whispers. They stare at each other across 3 feet of charged space. The air between them electric, dangerous. Everything they have not said pressing against the silence. Sarah should step back, should maintain distance, should protect herself from the inevitable heartbreak. Instead, she waits, heart pounding, wanting him to finish the sentence, terrified of what he will say. The moment stretches, infinite, eternal. Then Marcus turns away. The spell breaks. I should go, he says. His voice is flat, controlled, all emotion locked away behind walls she cannot penetrate. He walks to the door, stops with his hand on the knob. For what it is worth, he says without turning back, I never meant to hurt you, and the money being moved has nothing to do with crime. It is mine. Legitimate earnings I need to hide from people who think they have claim to it. But you are right, I should have told you. Should have been honest from the start. He opens the door, leaves, the sound of his footsteps fading down the corridor. Sarah stands alone in her office, the takeout cooling on her desk, the invoices scattered like evidence at a crime scene, the emptiness where he stood still radiating his absence. She sits down slowly, puts her head in her hands, tries to breathe through the pain. Her phone buzzes. Text from Agent Torres. Need to talk. Now, we have a problem. Sarah closes her eyes. The hits keep coming, one after another. No time to recover, no time to process. She texts back, where? The response is immediate. Your apartment, 1 hour, come alone. You are being watched. The words send ice through her veins. Being watched. By who? Victor Sterling? Someone else? How long? She grabs her coat, leaves through the service entrance, takes 3 separate taxis to make sure she is not followed, arrives at her building in Brooklyn 45 minutes later, runs up the stairs instead of taking the elevator, unlocks her door with shaking hands. Agent Torres is already inside, waiting in the darkness. How did you? Sarah starts. FBI, Torres says simply. We need to talk about Marcus Cole and what you just found in those invoices, because that money is not what you think it is, and the danger you are in is much worse than money laundering. She pulls out a laptop, opens files, shows Sarah photographs, security camera footage, bank records. The story they tell is not the one Sarah expected. Not at all. And when Torres finishes explaining, when the full truth finally emerges, Sarah understands 2 things with absolute clarity. First, she has been wrong about almost everything. And second, the real danger is just beginning. Agent Torres closes the laptop. The images on a screen tell a story Sarah never expected. Bank records, wire transfers, timestamps that align with every suspicious death in Sterling Industries files. But the account holder is not Victor Sterling. It is his son, Richard Sterling, 42 years old, VP of Pharmaceutical Development. The man Sarah met once at a board meeting. Quiet, unassuming, invisible beside his father's larger-than-life presence. Richard has been systematically killing people his father considered threats, Torres says. Not for money, for approval. Every victim was someone Victor mentioned wanting gone. Richard made it happen. Spent 23 years trying to earn his father's respect by becoming a murderer. Sarah's stomach turns. Does Victor know? We believe so, but we cannot prove he ordered the killings. Richard acted independently. Victor just provided the targets through casual conversation. Plausible deniability. And the money laundering Marcus is doing? Torres almost smiles. Not laundering, protection. Marcus discovered the pattern 6 months ago. started moving his personal assets through obscure channels so Richard could not access them. He has been working with us the entire time, building the case. The invoices you found? That was Marcus creating a paper trail we could use in court. He wanted you to discover it, wanted you to confront him, needed to know if you would choose integrity over love. The words hit like electricity. He tested me. He trusted you. There is a difference. Sarah sits in darkness, processing. Marcus is not a criminal. He is bait. The investigation is not new. It is 6 months deep. Everything, the job offer, the partnership, the proximity, was designed to build a case against Richard Sterling while protecting her from knowing too much. Until now. What happens next, she asks. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. we arrest Richard Sterling. Marcus will testify. You will testify. Dr. Chen will testify. We have 17 murders, 23 years of evidence, and a pharmaceutical conspiracy that reaches board level. This is the largest medical fraud case in FBI history. Torres stands, moves to the door. Get some sleep. Tomorrow changes everything. She leaves. Sarah sits alone in her apartment, pulls out her phone, texts Marcus. I know. The response is immediate. I am sorry. Come over. 20 minutes later, he is at her door. No driver, no car. He walked, jeans and a jacket, hair slightly wet from rain she did not notice starting. They stand in her doorway, 1,000 words hovering unspoken. I should have told you, he says finally. You were protecting me. I was protecting the case and myself. I'm a coward, Sarah. I wanted you close but kept you distant. Gave you pieces of truth but never the whole. I tested you because I do not know how to trust without testing. My father died because he trusted the wrong person. I will not make that mistake again. So you made me fall in love with a lie. The words hang between them. First time either has said it, love. Marcus's expression cracks. Not a lie. Everything I feel is real. Everything we built is real. Serafina, the investigation, us. I just could not tell you the whole truth until I knew you would choose right over easy. And now? Now I am asking you to forgive me, to stay, to see this through. He takes her hands, his grip warm, certain. Tomorrow we put Richard Sterling in prison. We clear both our fathers' names. We save Lily. We prove that justice, real justice, still exists. He pauses. And then, if you still want me, I am yours. Completely. No more secrets, no more tests. Just us. Sarah looks at this man, complicated, damaged, brilliant. Hers. Come inside, she says. He does. That night they do not make love. They sit on her futon, his arm around her shoulders, her head on his chest, listening to rain, waiting for morning, for justice, for the reckoning that has been 23 years coming. At 7:58 a.m., FBI agents enter Sterling Industries headquarters. At 8:02, Richard Sterling is arrested. At 8:15, the news breaks. By 9 a.m., Marcus and Sarah are at the hospital. Lily is awake, drawing. The treatment is working. The cancer is responding. She will live. Marcus kneels beside her bed. I told you, superheroes are real. Lily grins, hands him a new drawing. 3 figures, holding hands, a family. I drew us again, but this time everyone is in color, because nobody is fading away anymore. Sarah's throat closes. Marcus's hand finds hers, squeezes. 3 months later, Victor Sterling resigns in disgrace. Sterling Industries is restructured. Marcus becomes chairman. His first act is creating the Robert Mitchell Foundation, medical research funding for hospitals serving underprivileged communities. 6 months later, Lily is in remission. 1 year later, Marcus proposes. Sarah says yes. 2 years later, they marry in a small ceremony. Lily is flower girl. Dr. Chen attends. Agent Torres sends champagne. 5 years later, they have a son, named Robert, after both their fathers. The Sterling reckoning is complete. Justice was served. Love was earned. And 2 people who started with a test at a restaurant table built something neither expected. A family, a legacy, A future where the sins of fathers do not define the children, where courage matters more than money, where dignity, real dignity, has no price. The end.